Hello and welcome along to ARL Season 4 Round 6. We're here for Tier 1 at the French Grand Prix at Circuit Paul Ricard. Not known for the most chaotic of racing, but a bit of a break nonetheless. A very wide open track. And for this one, again, delighted to be joined by Feta Cheese once more. Hello Feta, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing great, ready for this but race to get started. France, of course, is a really, I would say it's a good track for racing, especially in league racing, not in real life, but in league racing it's okay. And like you said, it's a bit of a break from all the all the chaos, it's not really known for chaos, but a good league race to watch. And yeah, let's get to it.
Absolutely, there's a lot we can actually talk about in this qualifying session. Firstly, though, here is Axe. He has a one-shot qualifying due to an incident on the final run with FRA LMG last week at Zandvoort. So yeah, he has to face a one-shot qualifying, so it's going to be now or never for a good track position here today, which often with a one-shot qualifying, you're not guaranteed to get a high grid slot unless your banker, because it would be a banker, is spot on. And you are one of the quickest drivers. And Axe is up there, don't you reckon? So where do you think this could put him if he nails it?
Of course, the Williams are leading the Constructors' Championship, so, well, by a long shot, but it still kind of hurts them in a way. If he gets it right, I would say he would be top 10, but he is known for bottling. uh, so if he does get it right, he could be top 10. I don't think he would be like top 5 or anything now. The track is still not grippy enough, I would say. LMG puts a fast banker of 27.4, but yeah, on board with Axe. So far, it's a pretty good lap. Some mistakes there almost invalidates through that chicane. But yeah, I'm just want to see what his time is, and I think would make my estimates after that.
It's always great to see the Tier 1 drivers pushing the limits at France because it is often quite a flowing track if you get the correct setup on the car. And Axe looks like he likes his setups, Axe, so no surprise to see him performing nice and smoothly in the middle sector here. Back end kicking out, and that could be his one-shot qualifying run. Damaged significantly. There was a lot of oversteer there, and again, the rear sliding into the corner. The tyres are overheated, they're done now, and across the line, Axe for his one-shot qualifying lap. He's going to have to retire immediately in the pits or crashing on track. Was
Wait,
that
what?
invalid, or was that a glitch?
Uh,
Hey? Oh, it's
what?
updated. 3 minute 10.
Uh, Same with Java as well.
I think the lobby's died. I think most people's game just crashed. Ah, deja vu.
Oh
Everyone's
no.
game's crashed.
Everyone's games crashed.
Are you taking the mic?
Oh my god, are you taking the piss?
Not again.
Oh, not again.
Codemasters!
Oh god. Oh no shit, no shit, we have to restart the lobby. Fucking hell.
Yep.
Great stuff. Great stuff.
Yeah, everyone's done. Everyone's out this session. Yeah, it's a restart. Don't worry.
Not again. People will forget setup.
Oh no.
Okay.
Well then. Friends only, people can join.
Yeah, invite me to the lobby.
I know this, actually. Invite. I don't trust people. I really don't trust people. Oh no, let's load that. And then France, spectate. Let's invite just people on the top of my friends list.
Oh, I'm still not invited to the lobby.
Yeah, sorry, I'll do that now.
Fine. Thank you.
And if people could help if they're watching the stream, and racing, which sometimes does happen in a restart. Just trying to...
Oh my god.
Gonna invite the reserves.
Yeah. I'm inviting people.
At least we don't have to do a grid, eh?
Uh-huh.
Oh, Such wants to join. That makes things...
I don't
Oh,
think that's
yeah.
possible.
Yeah, so, if Expelo's happy... If Expelo is happy, sure.
I don't think he's happy.
Who else? Alfie George is in.
SvTakx.
Please... I've got to say it. Please stop blaming Sam all the time.
Oh. Just playing Codemasters, bro.
So we'll get Such in. Cool.
So, Xperia in racing.
Unfortunately not, but he's happy with it, and he'll probably be priority for next time.
Oh.
Which isn't the end of the world.
You say the thing about blaming Sam? Oh, okay. Okay. Both Hasses aren't in. G-Star 8F1.
Quali's clear, races like cloud. Thank you, Joe. I see that now. Custom. Quali, clear, race, like cloud, like cloud, like cloud. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
They're gonna commentate from the track. Brute Gurgun.
He weren't gonna make it though. Busy Gorgon. I don't think he's in. Unless I'm just blind. No, I think I'm right. Well, everyone, this is what you see when we set up a lobby.
Oh, I forgot they were the stream.
We are, yeah. Well, I can't be bothered to stop it, so...
Yeah.
Behind the scenes. It's not behind the scenes at all, everyone's done this before. But... Such, Busy Gorgon are in. Who else are we missing?
What? Both Red Bulls are missing? That is obviously a problem. No, both are in. McLaren, Pluto isn't in. No, Pluto's in. Pick a car, please.
Then we've got two more. Oh, someone else is... V2 Combat. Cool.
Immortals. TRT Immortal.
Yep. Definitely getting those last laps in on time trial. Come on, if he's in, we can start. That's my bottle.
Oh my god, please mute some people.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to in a minute.
Oh, Josh, come on.
Someone else has left! Oh, TRT Seed's Xbox has died. Oh, not
Great
died,
stuff.
but turned off. Oh, God.
Something new every week.
Okay, well, he's happy to,
Yeah, that's good. Alright. Ready up, I guess?
Tier 1 ready part 2. Pain.
Pain indeed.
Only pain. Mind full of pain. Weird bottle. Attempt number 2. I swear, if this breaks, I am gonna
For breaks we have to
live
cancel, but...
lose my shit. But anyway, we're back in Paul Ricard. Hello. It's like we never left.
Buenos dias todos.
Yeah. Welcome back to qualifying. We have a new 18 minutes on the clock. That was so bizarre. 3-minute lap times being set, everyone's game crashing, and the second week in a row where Codemasters has, quite literally bent us over. Right, let me invite, Seed.
Yep. I was gonna invite him, but yeah.
Goodbye to it.
Let's do it.
It is dry, the weather has not changed. This really just looked pixelated on my screen now. Ooh. Anyway,
Okay, just waiting for people to go out. I don't think they're in the lobby yet. We're not in the qualifying thing yet.
you watch, Seed breaks the game. Oh, I hear an engine. Well, that's encouraging. Yeah, I may, put on the chat. See what's going on in there. Fingers crossed, we're all good from now. Where to pick up, though? We had Axe doing his one-shot qualifying lap, which has been abandoned and is now going to be redone. Because he set a 3-minute lap time, and that's not fair. Yeah, again, I'm sorry, I cannot believe that happened, but... I didn't mean to put the stream on that loud. We don't need to hear myself twice.
Axe, does he need to serve his one-shot qualifying again, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Lucky Axe. Lucky guy. Full grid. Everyone's going out now.
Full grid, yeah.
Predictions for Paul, Milo?
Oh, predictions for pole. Now that you mention that, it was wet. last season here at France. So realistically, it will be a little bit of a different grid from what we saw. But you expect Jack is the favourite. VRT Lily, he took pole last season in the wet conditions, and obviously he has still a huge lead in the championship, and thus he'll be the favourite in the next 15 minutes, in my opinion. What about you?
Yeah, I think same. I'm just expecting one of the bulls to probably front row or third place, as kind of turning into a fan of them. They're like the underdogs, you know. They always pick up the results when you least expect it, and I'm excited to see how they perform.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's talk about all tiers. Usually that's when we start talking
Yeah.
about all the tiers and the action that happened there.
Absolutely. We'll kick off with Tier 4 then. It was won by Tom Katori. A really, really dominant display. Over 13 laps, he won by 8.3 seconds over Curtis Faded. GSR CJ Pants joined the two on the podium, two McLarens on the podium, and the first of what will be 3 Red Bull wins so far this weekend. Well, this might seem familiar in Tier 3. The race was won by Czech script Tom Katori. Yep, he came into Tier 3. reserving the race, and had a brilliant battle with LSJ Rundle and came out on top. So that's an automatic promotion, basically. Simple.
Yeah.
On the podium as well, HDV ties. So good to see him there. He held off Arthur for the race and got himself up onto the 3rd place step. In Tier 2, it was won by Red Bull driver Expilo, who was actually meant to be racing in this one, but such his presence came just as we restarted the race. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been here today, and instead it would have been Expilo in the Red Bull again. Chungus, 2nd place as a reserve driver, and Warman lost the win on penalties. He's 3rd place, but again, has been promoted as a reserve. He was a reserve originally, but full time now.
Oh man. Jarv's in the middle of the track.
In Tier 2.
Jarv retired, he's in the middle of the track, yeah.
That's where we saw Axe go off initially. Not go off, but had a big slide through there. Tricky corner is turn 12 as my dog starts barking. How convenient.
That's fine. We'll ignore
it. We'll work with it. It will only be a minute, if that. But, yeah, LMG, 1st place at the moment. Axe is coming around the final corner. He struggled on his lap prior to this. He's going to come up to the line now. He gets to reserve his 1-shot penalty and crosses the line. Goes up to 2nd. That's a really good banker. 27.3. You do expect it to be beaten by the likes of VRT and Lily, Sam, drivers in that sort of caliber. But it's still a great effort nonetheless from Axe. Goes in front of his teammate for now.
Yeah, surprise as well. Afi George, 4th place. He recently got promoted like 3 races ago, and he is a low 28 on his not a low 28, under a 28 on his banker. That is really impressive. Yeah, more than 10 people already set a time. They're going to go into the pits and serve their 3rd lap, except for Axe as well. Of course, I mean. Yeah. The race is going to be cloudy, right?
Yeah, light clouds. That was what was expected in the initial race, and so it's fair. It's not changed. Hopefully people remember their setups, because with Parc Fermé still on, as it should be, it's very easy to forget under a restart, and it's like you're just in the garage and going out again like you were before. So there was a reminder for that this time, but you know, neither of us take responsibility if people forget their setups, and that's all part of the F1 league racing thing, if you like. You mentioned Alfie George. He's reserving the Renault today over Brute Gorgon, who can't make it. So simple as that, really. Sync Sam is Sam Cole, who wasn't the cause directly for everyone crashing, but you know what I mean. He joined the lobby and everyone's game crashed, so he's really had a rough couple of weeks, unfortunately, in Tier 1, but hopefully this is his chance to...
Redemption.
He was on pole last week. Yeah, he just needs a bit of redemption now, and that would be so good to see. and witness that if possible. Such J goes fourth. Wasn't even meant to be in this one. So bizarre times, bizarre times.
Yeah, indeed. There's always a story in Tier 1, you know. At least half of the grid have a story to tell in commentary, especially, you know, it's... Yeah.
I'm watching Polo God now. He's starting his first flying lap in the AlphaTauri, and his luck needs to pick up Polo God if he wants to start aiming for the higher positions in the championship. There's been great opportunities over the past few weeks, but it just hasn't, you know, for those chasing him down, chasing Jack down in the championship, I should say. It's just a missed opportunity for them, and Polo God would have liked to be one of those that capitalised, but equally could not find the results, and it's been like that throughout most of the season so far. The championship update for Polo God is that he sits 11th in the championship. Not many people expected to be hearing that after 5 races.
Yeah, of course, he was runner-up in the championship last season. Of course, last season he was very unlucky with the punctures and everything at the start, but he made his way up. Hopefully he can do that in this next half of the season, you know. But I think it will be even harder to get runner-up and even harder to clinch the championship, especially since Lily is here. Lily, of course, leading over 20 points, I think, over LMG. LMG currently sits on pole, though.
Yeah. 27.
Yeah, exactly.
And Polo God is coming around the final corner now. Where can he put his AlphaTauri on his first run? He will go P7. So inside the top 10. Good starts for him. Most drivers are opting for the softs, which is unsurprising. Pluto's invalidated his first lap. TRT Immortal actually gave Polo a tow down that back straight towards turn 10. And may expect a similar service from Polo God this time around. So
yeah, 8 is about to cross the line. He is on mediums, so he might go out for a second lap on the softs, but we'll see what his banker on mediums is.
28.7 for Aid, 4/10 off the next runner, which is GSR Aid. Not Aid, GSR FH. They commentate together. But yeah, Aid behind Aid, that makes sense. But yeah, FH in the Racing Point today. We believe that Danny's dad is playing Assetto Corsa. So.
Oh, lovely stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, FH in the Racing Point. That's something new. I've never seen FH in a Racing Point before, but things are new. He's going to start his lap right now. We'll come back to him later. See who's on the lap right now.
Immortal's in at the penultimate corner. Here's the final corner. Rotation important through there. Don't want to use too much exit curb. Get through the gears nicely. Shortest run up to the line is via the left-hand side. He will go 16th with 28.8 as his medium banker. We do have a yellow flag, and I think that might be for a slower Haas. So,
yeah, they're just cutting
Aid is
corners.
out of fuel.
Yeah, of course. Here in France, it's really easy to cut corners. You know, there isn't really, well, there is a lot of runoff, actually, a lot, and there's not many barriers, so if you know, make a mistake, you can come right along again with no damage.
Kyle SO2 on an improving lap time at the moment. He's at the final corner. He's 11th at the moment. FH has retired. Has he crashed? But Kyle crosses line, can't improve position.
Yep, FH crashed in the exit of the chicane. He probably had a loss of traction there. Not good for his debut. He was leading.
Alfie George.
Oh, never mind. He was
Crossing
leading
the line.
championship.
Fourth.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, good announcement made by Square. I've just read, for future events, please don't spam whenever there's a restart, because it's not bad unless you make it bad. And that is spot on from last week and this week. Yeah, you know, Sam has been unnecessarily insulted. I know it's a bit of a joke and a laugh, but
It
trust
does
me,
affect
just
people.
because you say, yeah, just because you say it's a joke doesn't mean they take it as a joke. And please learn that for all things, really. I felt like that in the last week, to be perfectly honest. But away from that and back to the racing. Racing qualifying. F1 driver is up in 5th at the minute in his first race as not owner, if you like. Obviously, it all kind of started last week mid Zandvoort. He was out of the race and, well, wasn't attending, actually, I should say, and
He had a
it
race
all
ban.
kicked off in the chat. It all kicked off. Yeah, he had a race ban, of course. Silly me.
Yeah, and as you say that, you know, it's those type of stuff. You know, people take him. Well, don't take him as a joke, but like people make a lot of jokes about him, and they don't forget about him. But at the end of the day, you have to realize, you know, he is a human, and he's probably, I wouldn't say depressed, but you know, he probably takes that to heart. And yeah, I think stepping down from owner is the best for his mental health, probably, I would say, but I wouldn't get too deep into that. It's qualifying in France, so
Absolutely, yeah. Corey Marshall, oh, there's his Red Bull teammate behind him, but yeah, Corey Marshall just invalidated there, and I think he was up. That was, no offence, but very, very silly small error. Immortal has left the session. If you could get him back in, that would be great.
LMG's
V2
on the
Combat
lap.
qualified 3rd here last season. He's gone off at the final corner. He's invalidated because of that. Oh my days. That was perhaps the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. But LMG, 1:27.206 is the new benchmark. And that's close to 2/10 in front of the one-shot qualifying Axe. This should be a great race if Axe has more to offer.
Oh yeah,
We'll see about that.
it doesn't seem like people are going to improve their times. It's of course it's the final run. You know, it's the most grippiest time of the track, I would say. I don't know how to say that specifically, but yeah.
Pluto crossing the line, 16th on mediums. Yeah, the mediums aren't proving very good for track position, but maybe starting outside the top 10 is a deliberate key to success here, as yeah, you get a free choice of tyre, you get a free choice of strategy, very flexible with what you can do, and therefore you've got a good chance of progressing up the order no matter what. So this is LMG, the provisional pole sitter. TRT Seed is starting another lap now. He's on the fringes of the top 10 in 11th place.
Yeah, Immortals got kicked from the dashboard, as he said in the main chat.
Small lock up there into turn number 4 for TRT Seed, but he gets it through the section nicely. He's about a 10th up at his lap time, using all of the track on the exit there. So much grip at this late stage, but he has now backed off, so maybe he wasn't happy with that. Not sure if he picked up an invalidation or not. We have Tax as well on a lap, now in new colours, in the Alfa Romeo colours. He was dropped from Haas and was picked up by Alfa Romeo, so yeah, Immortal is back in the session now, and Tax still flying high on his lap here. As it stands, it's a better qualifying than most this season. Been very close towards the back of the field. Penultimate corner coming up for Tax. Small lock up, but uses the inside line very nicely. Good rotation as well. Last season's race winner then, of course. Coming up to the line, SvTakx. What can he do here? He goes 11th, so 11th. Improved lap time for Tax. He does like this place, doesn't he? 2 race wins, I think it is here now. So.
Seed is on a lap and he got held up a bit, well, distracted, I would say, by people in the pits. Not Tactic. Seed, of course, new to no ABS. He's been trying to get rid of it for the past week. He seems to be struggling a bit. He'll get there.
Most drivers now on an outlap, like you say, and I mentioned Tax winning the race last season. Only by 0.3 he won ahead of VRT Lily. So it was close. Jack was a bit furious at his somewhat luck. Yeah, it was luck with the timing of the safety car and that. And Scratty Rat was third.
Oh, Scratty Rat. That's a name I haven't heard in so long.
I know.
Yeah, so everyone's starting their laps now. It's like a huge train. Separated train. Oh, Polo God has been validated. He was one of the first runners to start a lap. Yeah, he has no time to set another lap now. He's going to start 9th. Hopefully he doesn't get pushed back out of the top 10.
TRT seed around the final corner. Good to see a good conversation in the chat, by the way, and yeah, people are happy to help if you are interested in joining the league. Seed backs off. He's happy with starting 12th at maximum. So who have we got next to cross the line? LMG's going to make the checkered flag. VRT Lily as well. Busy Gorgon on an outlap. Who else have we got upcoming? I think that's Jab crossing the line to start a lap. So yeah, there is a bit of a timing glitch. Next up will be Pluto. Then we'll have Busy Gorgon. Oh my god, I just caught that.
Yeah, I caught that as well.
Was that with V2? There's been an incident as well. V2 Combat Seed and what the hell? That is a quality incident that you don't want to see at France. And if that is a case of
Seed was
cutting
AI, so didn't really matter, I guess.
No. Yeah, I'm not sure what that was all about. We've got some laps on the board. F1 driver up to 5th, Such 7th, Corey Marshall 8th. We have Alfie George on the front row now. Can't beat LMG though.
Lily invalidated.
AIDS goes 4th. VRT Lily, you are right, has invalidated. Jab, we've got Pluto on a lap as well. LMG might have pole in the bag here. He'll be the next car to cross the line, and he's up on his time as well. Where can this, he's going to have a huge advantage here if he nails this. Will this be pole position for LMG? Oh, yes it is. 127.0, unless the likes of Jab can stop him, who has been proven he can fight for race wins this season. He only can go
Pluto's also crossing the line.
Pluto, he qualified on the front row here last season. Where can Pluto go? He's committed to the soft tyres. He can go.
No, he didn't improve.
Nowhere.
Yeah.
He didn't improve.
Yeah, interesting qualifying near the end. Alfie George in 2nd place. What a debut for Renault on Alfie George. Sorry. Axe, one-shot qualifying in 3rd place as well. That is tremendous.
Yeah,
that is brilliant job. Yeah. Lily, I am worried about Lily, of course. Lily hasn't gotten the best of qualifying. He's only had 1 pole, I think, this season, if not 2. LMG is certainly hungry for that to decrease the championship gap between Lily.
Can I just say, without LMG, that's a huge. That's a really close qualifying. But you know, that's an if my aunt had balls, she'd be me uncle thing. But we're not about that, and you've got to give credit to LMG where it's due. And this is the time 3/10 pole position.
Yep.
Gap.
G to tier 0. I'm joking.
Tier 0.5. Everyone else is in tier 1.
Yep.
It'll be fantastic, of course, if he can win the race today with Lily a bit further down for championship purposes. But of course, we wouldn't really wish a poor race upon anyone. And thus, I just hope it's competitive. And we'll be talking through our favourites on the upcoming formation lap and 20 drivers to flick and have a chat about. Looking forward to this one specifically. You know, you don't expect chaos at France, but the racing certainly is different. You know, there's some long straights. You've got to try and save that ERS. You know, it's very tactical. Avoid the warnings as well. So, a bit of a traditional, although it's not been around for a long time, this Paul Ricard, but it's kind of proven as one of the traditional league racing tracks. Potential DRS trains, potential penalties, DRS havoc, not DRS, ERS havoc. But yeah, Vettel, I'll hand it over to you. 3 favourites for this upcoming race.
Oh, I gotta say, I think Alfie George and LMG will remain the same. Well, I'm more hoping for Alfie George to stay in second. Of course, I don't think he'll try to battle with. I would say his race pace is a bit iffy, and people would overtake him. But hopefully he can hold them off and get second. Of course, 27 laps. It's a long race, so it is very easy to get impatient and do stupid moves, especially on this track in the third sector. It's so hard. It's so hard to pick your top 3. Okay. You know what? This is a new one. I'm going for F1 driver for that. The third spot. The start of the season, he's been doing really well. Before he got his race ban, of course. Yeah. So top 3 are LMG, Alfie, and F1 driver. Oh, Seed isn't 20th. I swear he qualified like 12th, didn't he?
Oh, that must be a glitch.
Yeah.
That must be the demotion glitch. He's on the hard tyres. Let's actually take a look at tyres. As you'd expect, everyone outside the top 10 has gone for either hards or mediums. They'll be going longer into the race, thus mixing up the order a little bit. But yeah, favourites. Ooh, I'm gonna say Sync Sam Cole for just the unlucky past couple of weeks he's had. He's still in the championship fight in ABS, so we know he's got the pace to bounce back and take redemption at some point. And I hope on the hard tyres
he won Zandvoort.
He can get that luck today.
Let's not forget, he won Zandvoort.
Yeah, absolutely. FH is qualified from the session. Interesting to see how the reserves perform as well. Especially FH as a tier 2 man. He's won a couple of races this season. He's been really competitive. And yeah, great improvements from FH. Yeah, so the cars are lined up then. We're about to get going for this French Grand Prix. And 27 laps ahead of us in the south of France. The 5 red lights are coming on now. It's McLaren and Renault sharing the front row. Who will come out on top?
Oh, let's glitch.
We're revving it up now. It's lights out and away we go. LMG gets away well. It's going to be mostly 2x2 in the first corner, which they'll be hoping to avoid. LMG leads by a fair distance into turn 1. Axe F1 up the inside of Alfie George. Just backs out of that one, though. And we have Aid in 4th. And Such J in the background there as well. Under pressure from V2 Combat. Will V2 Combat commit? No, he won't. It's relatively clean so far, but this is the section of the track where people can get caught up a little bit. Kyle SO2 side by side with Sync Sam, who's had a pretty poor start. Drops a few positions on the hard tyres. They make contact, actually, as they're side by side, but a sector in, it's not terrible.
It isn't. All the battles, there weren't any major crashes. Of course, obviously there's going to be contact.
Kyle SO2 on the inside of Sync Sam. He was pushed right to the inside of the track there. Just can't win that position, though. And look at this. It's so close throughout the field. I think TRT Immortal has a good run and will go around the outside into turn 10. They're side by side, the pair of them. Kyle SO2 and TRT Immortal into one of the no-no corners for this track. ABS Jarv touches the back of Kyle SO2 and gets a little bit loose, just about survives and might not have wing damage. So he's gotten away with that one. But a big lead so far for LMG. What a first lap, broken the DRS already.
Yeah, of course, Axe is struggling a bit against the top 2. No, actually, Alfie George is struggling a bit. Not a lot of position changes. Of course, Seed pits. Seed started on the hard, so it's going to be very hard to pick a tire.
The chasing pack desperately trying to get back into that 1 second interval, because come lap 3, that will be when the DRS is enabled and when they can start saving some of that ERS. They just need to try and keep that gap.
Yeah, of course,
Within
top
1
5
second.
unchanged.
Close. They are close. But yeah, like you say, the top 5 is unchanged so far. Wrong one. There's position changes. Such J making up 2 positions. F1 driver actually losing 2 off the start there. And we saw earlier, obviously, on the previous lap, there was a lot of position changes towards the lower end of the field. And that is highlighted by the position change graphic. So
Yeah, of course, this is France, so it is... this is France, so there's a lot of tire variation, you know? It's a 2-stop, so every time there's a 2-stop, it's always... The racing is always really good, especially with the strategy, you know? You can see one person on softs, you can see one person on mediums. It is incredible, I would say.
it's getting close at the lower end of the points. Corey Marshall was close there to the back of Jab, who's equally qualifying... following closely to the back of F1 driver, and again he's following V2 Combat, all in quite a big train from second on back. It is absolutely massive. Every car coming through in about an equal split at this point, which is what you do expect. And it's about who blinks first, who makes the moves, who disrupts the flow of things.
Yeah.
VRT Lilly might want to, as he wants higher positions in this race. He's 5th place at the moment, 2 tenths behind GSR Aid F1, who is a very calm and composed driver. He won't care that Jack is behind him and wants to look forward himself. Aid, he's doing a great job so far this season and has the podium places in his sights. But it's only lap 3, a lot can still change, as always. That was Axe having a look up the inside.
Yeah, Alfie George is struggling. Oh!
Oh! He's run wide, and this invites aid.
Oh man, Aid is giving the pressure to Axe F1 right now. He's hungry for that final podium position. Of course, you cannot forget VRT Lilly also in the back in the hunt for the championship fight. It's a DRS train for here, but here for now. But if you make one mistake, you're gonna lose like 4 positions.
We saw a moment there, and that is a moment. Here's VRT Lilly up the inside of GSR Aid, and he's going to fight back up the inside, but just has to back out of it. He was right on the limit there of the track, and GSR Aid at turn number 4 has conceded the position to VRT Lilly. VRT Lilly up to 4th place, and behind his teammate. It'll be interesting to see how this one plays out.
Yeah, LMG is pulling away from everyone. Oh, looks like that's
Oh, here we go.
Down the inside of Alfie George. Alfie George is trying to fight back. He's all up his gearbox. Axe gets the better exit. He's using all that overtake. And now Alfie is a bit under pressure by VRT Lilly. Can Lilly make it a Williams 2-3 for now? This is playing really well into the Constructors' Championship.
Alfie George using all of the track there. Still wants to fight this position back. There is no doubt about that. But look at the huge train behind it. Yeah, it's a bit baffling, but it's expected.
Oh, looks like Lilly tried to go for the move on Alfie. He's all up his gearbox. He has
Here we
DRS.
go.
Alfie doesn't have DRS. No, he does. But Lilly is still pulling nonetheless. He's going around the outside.
He's got it.
Yeah, he's got it. Oh, Lilly goes wide though.
Oh, he's run wide.
Alfie George. No.
Just backed out from it. A rather large lead though for LMG. 2.4 seconds. Tax with the first time penalty. of the day. Oh, Alfie George! He's lost the car. He's gone sideways there,
so
and
much under
GSR
pressure.
Aid will sense the opportunity. It's getting closer, but the DRS for Alfie George is just going to keep him in front for now.
Oh, it's still a huge train. No one's wanting to back out.
The two Williams guys would ideally like to work together here and try and close that 2.4 second gap, but they may have to wait for just something to happen. Pit stop, safety car. Safety car, probably. This is the least likely place we're going to get one. But you know, sometimes it's a breath of fresh air. The race is always ongoing. But Alfie George pits here at the end of lap 5, and most drivers don't agree to that, and they stay out. The train is huge.
Yeah, the train is huge. He's going onto the hards. He's gonna have to stretch those hards a lot if he wants to get back at the top 3.
VRT Lilly with the lock up there as the two Williams are now
Lily's struggling a bit.
swapped.
I don't think they're in a party together. Yeah.
Interestingly though, they are just about a second in front of Aid, so if they can just break the train, obviously it's now starting to be disrupted by the pit stops. If they can just break that, they're in quite a good position here, the Williams guys, to try and push on to the back of LMG. They've actually took the gap down to 2.2 seconds now, so we expect the leader to pit this lap, but can always extend the tyres 1 or 2 laps maximum.
Yeah, LMG is going to feel the pressure soon from both Williams boys.
He's not pitting. Nor do the two Williams
Yeah,
guys,
lap 8
and we
is
do have a
usually
pit stop from
time.
Such.
Yeah, like I said, there's a lot of tire variation here, strategy variation.
This battle for P7 is looking interesting. Corey Marshall very close to the back of Jab, but equally you could say it's a battle for 6th, 5th because of the train, but yeah.
Yeah, the train's starting to spread now.
They'll whiz past it. Over 200 miles an hour now, and the braking zone is coming up. Will any moves take place behind? No, but they do bunch up slightly, which always creates the possibility for a collision. Just tapping the back of someone, but Sync Sam's got a good run here on Pluto. Thinks about the inside of turn 10. Turn 11's coming up, which is not always ideal, and therefore he's going to stay behind the McLaren. But no, the opportunity presents itself, and he just has to back out from that move, does Sam, because that would have been him spun, and potentially his race over.
Yeah, that was a bit optimistic from Sam there.
Pit stops.
No one pit still. Oh, never mind.
VRT Lilly now takes the lead of the race. Aid F1 up to 2nd, V2 Combat 3rd, where he qualified last season.
Yeah, of course, this is why LMG is in trouble here, because both Williams can either overcut or undercut LMG. You know, it's kind of scary.
Where's Such going to come out from this? Will he be closer? He might jump Axe! He has! Such J has jumped Axe in the pit lane. Mega outlap. We didn't really consider him in this. Alfie George slow off the exit there.
Marshall's
Ooh,
Past Jab for 5th place in the DRS.
Jab and Corey Marshall, who battled to the nearly final corner in Baku.
Oh,
But
pain.
what a thrilling race that was. But Polo God as well, bunching up there. Busy Gorgon, who won last week's race at Zandvoort.
Oh, they're all bunched up. Look at Corey to Polo.
This is so close. They've got to be careful into the pit lane, who pits and who doesn't. They're all going to follow each other in. But no, they're not, because now Polo God leads the train of people that haven't yet stopped. So let's keep a close eye on this, because who we're watching really
Look at
is
all the position changes.
LMG. Yeah, we're watching LMG really, and where he comes out in comparison to VRT and Lily. Here's VRT and Lily. We'll watch LMG. What would the gap be? He's overtaken him already, and this is going to be huge.
Such
And
is
he's
also
also
going past him.
Such is up into that second.
Oh, Such out of nowhere on the hards. He's going to chase LMG
Wow.
for the win. Especially this gives a little bit of breathing room for LMG.
Yeah, so Such is 2.7 seconds behind LMG. That means VRT Lily's about 3.1 seconds. So he's lost close to a second from that, and now has a car behind him as well for good measure.
LMG's all on the back of Kyle.
Shit. Yeah, he's hitting traffic. Remember about the traffic. Kyle should make it easy for him. He has done.
Yeah, if anything, it gained him a bit of time because of DRS. Lily has passed Such. Such is all around the outside, becoming into the inside. Lily is still getting his nose in. He goes into the curb. He's still gaining on him. Look at all the overtake he's using. Don't forget Axe though. They're going side by side through this little right-hander. They make a little bit of contact. Such has the inside. Can Lily make the switch back? Yes, he can. He pushes Such wide.
Off the track.
Oh.
Axe in the background as well, struggling for grip. And Such is now behind VRT Lily. And that battling means that LMG's gone down the road. There he is. Pluto with a time penalty now as well.
Wow. Axe needs to stop with those corner mistakes. You know, he's losing a lot of grip, especially through that corner that he just almost spun in.
These guys on the back of Alfie George, not Alfie George, I was reading Alfie George, Kyle SO2, and again, he might make it easy for one or two cars here, but there's also a battle going on ahead between TRT Immortal and ABS Jarv. Immortal getting the better of that one, but he's now under pressure from his teammate.
Oh! Yeah. Oh, the Immortal's still under pressure by Jarv a bit. He's lagging, I think, a bit.
Sam's run wide there. VRT Lily could not get past Kyle the first time with a switchback. He's executed it nicely at turn 11. Axe F1 two tenths behind. Aid F1 actually got past Alfie George as well. I did notice that, but well, he has no right to let them through, does Kyle? But Such J's through there. He reconsiders and goes into the pit lane and speeds.
Yeah.
And that is what happens when you think on your toes and go in, but
a huge strain from first to 6th. No, first to 7th, my bad.
fastest lap for Corey Marshall.
On the hards. Basically, no one's on the softs anymore.
You're right.
It's basically like the top 10 and the bottom 10 switched because the bottom 10 started
Immortal
on mediums.
and Tax into turn 10. Immortal gets in front. He is lagging, and as I see, probably the only one to be lagging quite this much. So I don't think it's my problem as
Yeah,
such.
I see
But
it as well.
yeah.
He disconnected in qualifying as well.
Oh yeah, of course. Tax goes into the pit lane then, getting rid of his medium tyres. As does Polo God. Sam gets a time penalty and spins. He's around. As a result of the time penalty, he must have gone off the track and just lost the car, but that's quite a damaging spin for Sam.
Yeah, now FH is pressuring him. A lot of people in the pits. LMG in 7th still.
VRT Lily now with a fastest lap. He's 2 seconds behind LMG. And there's no real traffic, so he is pushing on. VRT Lily. F1 driver with a time penalty as well.
Yeah, and talking about time penalties, if one of the leaders get a time penalty, that will be very, very crucial to decide the race win or even a podium as well. I'm talking about LMG and Lily, you know, if they get a penalty, it's done for. Because the grid is so close.
Battle between Busy Gorgon and Pluto brewing. Busy Gorgon leading yet more laps. He's probably got a huge, quite a big tally after Zandvoort, where he dominated after the scenario we had. Jarv's into the pits, getting rid of the mediums, and if Seed pits soon as well, everyone will be off the medium tyres. Hards on for Jarv. Gap down to 1.6 between LMG and Lily.
Yeah, Gorgon's under pressure by Pluto a lot. He's making those mistakes.
Oh, we have a yellow flag. It's F1 driver. F1 driver is around. I was just watching him for a second, and then as soon as I flick away, he's got damage.
Oh, that's unlucky. Now Sam is passing SvTakx, so both Alfa Romeos not having a good 13th lap there. I mean, not Sam, that was Jarv.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty sure these two are communicating in a party, actually. Jarv and Tax. Of course, both being Finnish. There once was a time in ARL where they just pre-race littered the, I say littered, that's horrible. Typed in the main chat and just finish. Sam with the 3-second time penalty.
When Jarvis in the pits for that front wing damage, he's pitting for hards, I think, or mediums.
Alfie George ahead of Polo God. Polo God on the fresher hards though.
Sam is under
and a
pressure
move
by
for
FH.
the provisional lead.
Oh? Oh yeah, Sam is also getting passed by FH on the straight. Oh my god!
Sam's really struggling.
It's such an
such an axe!
well, yeah! Oh, he put
Axe
his small
squeezed onto the apex!
Oh
Wow!
my god, I am missing
Here we
games.
go into turn 10! Simple move for Axe, such as just ran out of overtake this time around, and may have to settle being behind Axe for some laps now to try and get that back up. We've got pit stops for the medium, for the hard guys switching on to the mediums. Pluto, Busy Gorgon, Immortal. I expect to see FH, Sam in soon, and then we will have a pretty normal order.
Yeah, LMG in the net lead for most of the race. He's dominating, but we can't forget Lily is all in the back of him. Well, not on the back of him, he's closing on him, sorry.
1.6 now. It's slowly been coming down. ERS situation, LMG's miles better. He does now have 2 cars as traffic, which will bring the gap down even more, and especially as they're about to pit. These two holding LMG up may be very, very significant in the fight for this race win. Sam's lagging a bit, and it's...
I see that as well.
The guys that have been disconnecting today, the ones with the lag, so... And is Sam going to let him through?
Yeah,
hopefully
Sam
no
let him
contact
by.
with the lag car.
Surprise Seed is still running.
Yeah. He has put onto a new set of mediums now, though. Not all hope is lost, although there is very small hope. Pluto's into the pit lane. FH will follow. F1 driver with another 3-second time penalty. Yeah. Great engine glitch.
Oh.
But look, VRT Lily has DRS, and that might be him within a second of the race lead, but he's locked up and run wide, and that has cost him tenths that he didn't need to lose.
Yeah, almost
Such a valuable mistake, even though it's so small.
Yeah, he has to stop making those mistakes if he wants to pass LMG. F1 is also not far behind them both. This is a surprise. Such made overcut almost 3 people. Undercut, sorry.
He's still fighting for the podium though, Such. He's only half a second behind. Axe! No, he's not. He spun. He's around.
Wait, what?
Oh, he's got damage as well. Oh, no.
Oh, Such. Oh, no.
Oh, Such. Oh, Such. Oh, no.
Oh, no. I'm just waiting in the chat to see Atlantis screaming. Oh, that is so...
Atlantis, what do you have to say?
Oh.
You know, stream interview. Oh, no.
Oh, dude, that's so... I wouldn't say... I don't want to say unlucky, but it's just...
It's a driver error, isn't it?
It's a driver error. Yeah, it's... Oh... Such was having such a good run of races. Yeah, Expeal on the chat. That one hurt to watch. Atlanta's big pain. Yes, it is a big pain.
Here's Busy Gorgon on the back of Alfie George into turn 1. That's going to be contact. That is going to be Busy Gorgon sideways. Pluto coming through. And, whoa, that... Excuse the voice crack. That was almost another spin.
Sam retired and
Immortal!
Oh my god,
inside now as well.
Yeah, what is happening?
Blame on Atlantis, it's his fault. How has a Renault not spun yet? Well, you asked that square. Like you think it's going to happen, or know it's going to happen. Which one? There we go. It's a great battle here for P9. There's 4 cars involved. Such for the time penalty now as well to rub salt into the wounds on his outlap.
Closing in on Alfie George, he's gonna grab the inside.
Oh, into turn 11!
They're still side by side.
He's done it.
Yeah, he's done it. Great move from Pluto. Unexpected. Alfie George was caught napping.
Immortal comes up the inside of Alfie George. Oh.
Wow, Immortals is not backing out of this pole. We got 3 seconds. Alfie George
Oh,
pits.
Alfie George is pitting. What a shame. Has he got damage?
Don't know.
I can't see at the moment. Let's have a look.
No, it doesn't.
No?
It's pretty for mediums.
It's just mediums.
Yeah. I don't think he thought he could make it. Remember, he pit lap 5. So
Yeah.
he probably knew, yeah, the hards aren't gonna make it.
Fastest lap for FH, who's in 14.
Yeah, the gap is relatively the same between Lily and LMG. 1.5 seconds.
Corey Marshall on the back of V2 Combat. In terms of penalties, these three aid V2 Combat and Corey Marshall are level. But Jab, as it stands, will have the podium. Well, not the podium, but 4th place. Said podium, felt like I no, silly me. But it'll be closer to the podium. That makes more sense. But it'll be 4th place as it stands on penalties. There's still a few more mix-ups in the order that could occur as well.
Yeah, 8th through 10th is very close. Motorset's fastest lap. Goes a bit
Pluto
wide.
on the back of Busy
Yeah.
Gorgon. Ooh, into turn 3 and 4. Pluto backs out of it.
Busy Gorgon
But
goes
he's got
wide.
the outside
Pluto's
line into
capitalizing.
5. Oh no, that's the half spin. And that really did not look realistic at all.
It's just a game being a game. I don't think anyone was at fault there. Such
Shame.
fastest lap. Yep. Immortal's weaving around a bit.
It's probably his lag contributing to that, but oh well.
Yeah, he's closing in on Busy Gorgon though. He always thinks about the
Might
move.
be into turn 10. Yeah, he always pulls his car out saying, hello, I'm here. Will there be points on the cards for Immortal today? Doesn't have a penalty. His teammate does, who's just 6/10 up the road. Currently in 10th place, so could be getting 2 today. Remember, there was no DNFs in Tier 3. We've had one today. It was Sam, but
Sam just gave up.
it's what you expect from France.
I don't know why he retired. I mean, he was like in 14th, I think. Anything can happen.
Gap between LMG and Lily now 1.2 seconds. Since that lockup, it's been about the same. Can't really say he's gained much.
Yeah, it sounds so exaggerating saying, oh, since his lockup, he's gained a bit of time, but it is what it is. It's racing. You know, if you make one little mistake, that's it. You lose seconds.
He's got to try and make up for it. Gain those tenths back where LMG can't. He does look close on track though, but in the F1 game it's all about the DRS, it's all about the ERS, and he's not winning on both fronts, and he's not winning on track either. He's 1.1 seconds behind now. Maybe that switch to the onboard cameras energised him a bit, but here we go, side by side momentarily. Immortal and Busy Gorgon. He's going to try potential switch back here to get the good exit, but that will stay put for now. Look, he's 9/10. It was the luck of the onboard camera. He is just about reaching into the sights of DRS, but it's now up to 1.2.
He has no fuel though. I don't think can you see that he has no fuel?
Fuel, yeah, yellow icon.
Pluto's catched up to that pack of 8th through 11th.
He was just on the back of it before, and then obviously the small spin only cost him about a couple of seconds. He's back on it though, due to the battling taking place, and CRTC does become the second retirement. Yeah, he wasn't really gonna. Since lap 1, he was always on the back foot, finding a way back into this race. Oh, hello.
Polo God. That was really easy from Busy Gurgan. He was just gaining so much on Polo God through the DRS. Yeah, Polo God is really struggling, especially he has that 3 seconds, so he's gonna fall down the grid a lot. And now he's getting.
Here we go, teammates.
Yeah. He's on the inside.
Side by side into
contact.
turn 11. Oof. Polo God's gonna find it tricky to know if he's there or not, considering his lag. But they have traded positions. There's a yellow flag in sector 1 that we see.
Yeah, the train is spreading because of that. Immortal is just capitalizing on Polo's, I want to say mistakes, but struggling for grip. Pluto isn't far behind him. Now Pluto isn't far behind him.
When I say bottle, I mean I've got water and it makes stupid noise every time I like. Yeah, I won't go into depth. Corey Marshall with another 3-second time penalty. Jab's done well keeping it on the track. Still, we may have some appeals because it is France and not always you feel the warnings are fair, but...
Indeed.
Here we go, Corey Marshall was close to the back of V2 Combat. Gets a good exit there as well and could mount a challenge.
The 2 trains starting to connect.
23. Yeah.
Oh man, everyone's wasting fuel in ERS. They have almost half of the grid has less than 50% here.
F1 driver the 3rd time penalty. That won't affect him down in 18th place, but yeah, that spin, I'm not sure if there was contact because he was about to start fighting, but yeah, I think that might have just been an error. Go into depth about your bottle. Well, if you want me to drink and it make noise, you know, sure. That's the noise it makes. It's
F1 driver,
very irritating.
Yeah, F1 driver, 3rd driver to give up on this race.
Look at these 3 close. Corey Marshall tapping the back of V2 Combat. And
Immortals passed Busy Gorgon as well for 8th place.
He did. Gap between LMG and VRT Lily.
7/10 now.
Officially 7/10. You know, there is no question that LMG is back under pressure, and the gap has been closed. And Lily is here to fight. We have 4 laps to go left in this race.
This is going to be interesting. Oh no!
Oh, he's got a penalty! No way! No way!
No! LMG, come on! Oh, and that is Elsie George spun and down into 16th as well. Lily, another 3 second for Lily!
Oh my god!
Oh my god! Axe could win this! Oh.
If these 2 start fighting, Axe keeps it clean,
oh my
pushes
god,
as hard as he can without. We've got a 3-way fight on. Although it doesn't seem like it, and it looks like we've only got 2.
Oh my
the
god.
race is on, and This is
Combat is
taking a
all
turn.
over the
Aiden
aid.
V2 combat. They've touched.
Ah, he
Ooh, I
gives
thought
him
was
no
gonna go
room.
around there.
Corey Marshall is now on the 8 as well. 8 is losing 2 positions. Oh, I can't distract my mind from the fact that both of them got 3
Wow.
seconds. I can't.
No way.
I can't. Oh man, my heart dropped.
I was like, no, the fight's gone, and then Lily gets a pen, and it's like, what?
Oh,
Didn't do that.
there's a smile on my face right now. There's 3 laps left.
7/10 is still the gap, and 3 laps to go. Crossing the line now is LMG. 6/10 in front, both the 3-second penalties and Axe. I think he's starting to close that gap. He's so close to being within 3 seconds, and these two have to get a move on. Play it smart.
Yeah, this is
Axe is
part of the
within 3
race.
seconds. Oh.
He's within 3 seconds of Lily, but not LMG.
Yeah. There's still 1 position, but if these two keep battling, you know, it's 3.4 seconds off the lead, and I think the leader gap is what matters more at the moment here, so we can track Axe's progress for the race win, and a lock-up from LMG there.
If Lily and Axe are in a party, I think a bit of teamwork is going to be there, so Lily can hold up LMG. Well, slow down, I would say. Slow down. So Axe
I've
can get the
accidentally
win.
put my flashlight on. Oh god, what's happened there?
Oh? Oh, 2 laps left of this GP. Axe is closing in relatively much. He's gained 5/10 this lap. FH 3
FH
seconds.
with the penalty.
Yeah. And there's still the big train, the 2 trains connected.
Here we go then. Axe, not Axe. VRT Lily is closer than he has
Ever been.
in this race, and just 2/10 separating them. Pressure mounting quickly, and expect to see a last lap scrap.
Oh man. Oh man. Just looking at that leader
The
gap.
desk, I'm waiting.
I'm just looking at that leader gap between Axe and LMG. Jar of 3 seconds. Oh, I thought that was Axe for a bit.
Axe is 3.1 seconds behind. Lily closing up, brakes late as well.
Jab's closing on
Keeping that
8,
pressure
battle
on
for
for the
6.
final lap. He is indeed. He might have a look around the outside. He brakes late. He's going to commit to the move. They do make contact. And remember, Jab is still on
They're
for
fighting
P4
so hard.
due to penalties.
Remember, TRT Immortal is not backing out of the fight as well. Can he make this a double overtake? 8 is blocking a bit. He lifts.
Oh,
8 is on around the outside.
Immortals.
He might lose another 2 positions from this. Jab has the inside. Can Immortals close in on 8 as well? He doesn't. He's trying.
single file on the exit, as you would expect. Yeah, and we are now starting the final lap. Axe is 3.2 seconds behind. If you missed it, the 2 leaders on the exact same lap within a matter of corners became victim of a 3-second time penalty. We really do have a race. Axe is bang on 3 seconds. Stop inviting me to parties.
Oh man, dude, it's 3 seconds exactly. He's last lap of the race as well. Can Lily make this for net P2? I would say maybe P1 if Axe bottles. But
2.9 it clocked there. Is Lily too far behind? He's going to deploy all of his overtake on this straight.
Lily
He has
has
about the
no
same
fuel.
amount to use. He's got no fuel though. He's probably keeping it in lean. He is probably just pushing it to its limit right now. 0.2 behind. LMG gets the better chicane, and that could be that. Engine glitch for good measure, but
oh, sorry.
Aiden Immortal. I thought someone dropped down the order there. You're right, but it's just Aiden Immortal
No.
having a battle.
That wasn't screaming. Axe.
Oh, Axe.
Axe almost spun.
Oh no.
Oh, it's almost spun on the
No.
chicane. 3.4 seconds. and it looks like if Lily manages
Lily.
if LMG manages to hold up Lily enough, he can win this Grand Prix. 2 corners left. Axe is losing time.
Oh, he spun him!
Oh my
He spun him! He spun him! He spun him!
Uh,
Unbelievable! Axe is gonna win!
Oh my god! Axe wins!
Oh my god!
Axe wins!
I give up. Oh my god. No.
No way, man! No way!
No.
That is going to be
my-
dealt by the stewards. That is.
Oh.
Oh, Kyle gets spun by Such as well!
Oh god.
Oh no, yeah, Such is giving him the position back. He knows. He's not pulling a Lily. And oh.
Do we want interview?
Do we want interviews? Is that a question?
Yes, we
want interviews. Yeah.
I've invited the top 3. Immortal got 4th out of all of that. Busy Gorgon at 5th place. 10 more points for him. V2 Combat in 6th. Gab in 7th. Corey Marshall 8th place. Aid in 9th. Polo God rounds off the top 10.
What a comeback from Immortals as well, but speechless. Wow.
in the new ticket, first GIF is a popcorn GIF. Which I'm not surprised about. We've only got LMG here, and oh dear.
My phone died. I can't look at the Discord messages. Oh god.
That's a you problem, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Don't worry. I have Discord.
Here's the podium.
I have Discord on Xbox. I'm not even lying. I'm not even lying. There's Discord on Xbox.
Okay.
Okay. Uh-oh.
Here's the race results before we start interviews. Axe won, even though we thought he wouldn't win on the final. Okay, that's just mad. VRT Lily 2nd place for now. LMG 3rd. We thought he was going to win. Final corner madness. 42 people viewing that. Immortal in 4th, Busy Gorgon in 5th, V2 Combat 6th, Jab 7th, Corey Marshall 8th. That's 3 points finishes in a row since his return, I think. Aid in 9th, he was running as high as 4th at one point, so the penalties and the battles have really cost him there. Polar God 1 point in 10th. Can't capitalise on situations like this. Again, such a shame to see that. And then outside the top 10, likes of Pluto. I guess we'll start the interviews, and I don't know where to begin because so much happened. Firstly, I'd like to get the thoughts of Axe because you have won the race. For a moment, we thought you'd win with the 3-second gap, and then you went out of it, and then you were back in again. What was the entire last 5 laps like in your head?
Very interesting. So Jack had a warning he'd get removed because he got pushed off by someone. I can't remember who it was. But he was gonna be able to get one of his warnings off, and the penalty was removed. So I wasn't thinking about the win at all. I was just trying to catch Lewis for the 1-2, and then that final corner thing happened, and I didn't even think about it. I didn't even think I won the race because it just never occurred to me until I crossed the line. I'm like, hey, Jack, you don't want to remove that penalty, right? But I don't know whose fault that was in the final corner. We'll have to see if it stands. It doesn't feel like a win in my book because those two were definitely fast to me the whole entire day. So it was very interesting.
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, Vetter.
Dude, Axe, I remember, man. Yesterday I was racing engineering you, and this is a nice comeback, but yeah, you obviously lead the constructors more after this race, how are you feeling through the rest of the season? I asked this to everyone. How are you feeling through the rest of the season, you know?
Very good. I think regular podiums are coming a lot more common for me now. I found that extra step up from the previous seasons, and usually the only people faster than me every week are the two guys that were ahead of me most of the race. Um, so constructors obviously looks good. Me and Jack, very good pairing. Just um, with him with no line, he's got to learn that and he's doing a very good job at it right now, obviously. Um, and yeah, penalties and stewarding is going to be I think, our main downfall if anything happens with it.
Okay. On to, I would say, Milo. Who do you want to go to, Jack or?
I guess we'll go to Jack. And I don't want to put you on the spot or anything, but I'd just like to get an opinion. And yeah, we'll have an opinion from you if that's okay.
I prefer not to speak because
Okay, Jose.
because it might put me in a lot of mud, considering
That's
by
up to
the
you.
main
You don't have
chat.
to.
So
You don't have to if you don't want to.
yeah,
So-
I don't want to say nothing about that.
In terms of the race in general, though, what was it like closing that gap from the moment you got up into second place? What was that like?
Just trying to keep it consistent, really. Just really get the laps in, and just keep consistency, and just just let the gap just get smaller. And yeah, not really much to say, really.
Alright, I understand, but we'll now talk to our... Well, sorry, Feta, any questions first?
Yeah, I was gonna ask him that, but let's see. Yeah, I don't have any questions for him. No, I don't.
Alright, so, well, Lewis, I'm sure you have built up a lot of anger in the last 15 minutes?
Yeah,
10 minutes?
I guess kudos for him for keeping it sane
Yeah.
in the party. Yeah, thank you for that, Lewis. But
You can release anything now if you want. I don't blame you, but
No, I
you don't
won't.
have to speak either if you don't want to.
I'm not gonna say anything. Let stewards decide. They're the ones whose opinion matters.
Yep.
That's it. Just but yeah, actually, yeah, nothing going.
distracting. Well, not. I want to say. Yeah, let's distract from the fact of that incident. And how did you feel throughout the race? Were you consistent, or did you feel you had more pace into it? You were obviously in net P1 for most of the race. I would say all of the race except for that last lap. But yeah, how did you feel you could have improved your pace throughout there?
I don't think I could have, to be honest. I had pole. Alfie gave me a nice gap on the soft stint. On the medium
Yeah.
stint, I controlled
Exactly.
it. I was told I consistently had more overtake than Jack for the whole time. And on the last lap, I managed to cover it throughout the big straights, so I thought I was going to come home to a nice win, but that happened, which I wouldn't say anything about. And yeah, I thought it was a perfect race for me, really.
Yeah, commiserations to you, and league racing is a weird place, it's like, oh, it's only a game, but it's a competitive league, and then when you lose to win at the final corner,
especially
it's
when
like,
you practice, for the whole week.
people
and
practice, people
actually
practice,
try.
yeah.
Yeah. Thank you guys. Yeah, I think that would be it.
I think we'll leave it there. It's been a weird hour and a half from the restart to everything. 27 laps at France. It's like, oh, nothing's really going to happen. Yeah, well, watch till the end. Never leave before the checkered flag, said a wise Crofty. The 2020 British Grand Prix. Well, we all know that was not brilliant, but we know. it will get dealt with. And thanks to Feta, thanks to all of our participants today as always. And next week we will be back, of course, for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Should be interesting, completely different to France, labelled as Monaco without the walls, especially in that middle sector, so it should be good fun. Make sure you join us on Friday night, if you're in the UK, for Tier 4, and then Saturday we have Tiers 2 and 3, and on Sunday, this time next week, we'll be back again for Tier 1, so thank you everyone for watching today, and yeah, we need to go and deal with this, so see you next time.